Okay, in this video we are going to talk about the third postulate of quantum mechanics, postulate 3 of quantum mechanics. Postulate 3 of quantum mechanics. Okay, the postulate 3 of the quantum mechanics says that the possible values of any physical quantity of a system are given by the eigenvalues in the operator equation a cap psi is equal to s r. Let me write it here. Okay, the possible values of the possible values of any physical quantity of a system, any physical quantity of a system are given by are given by the eigenvalues the eigenvalues in the operator equation in the operator equation a cap psi is equal to a psi. Okay, what does it say? So the possible values of any physical quantity, for example, we want to measure the momentum of a microscopic particle. Okay, and this momentum of the microscopic particles can be measured many times. Okay, നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ഒരു തവണ മൊമെന്റം മെഷർ ചെയ്യാം, അതേ മൈക്രോസ്കോപ്പിക് പാർട്ടിക്കിളിന്റെ മൊമെന്റം മറ്റൊരു തവണ മെഷർ ചെയ്യാം. So we can measure the measurable physical quantity many times for a particular system. Okay, and each time when you measure the physical quantity corresponding to the physical quantity, the desired physical quantity of that system, and that physical quantity will be obtained as the eigenvalue of this operator equation. A cap psi is equal to Si. Here, a cap is the operator corresponding to the physical quantity that we are measuring. Okay, that you know from the second postulate. From the second postulate, for every observer there is a corresponding quantum mechanical operator. Therefore, if you are measuring momentum, a cap will be the momentum operator. If you are measuring kinetic energy, a cap will be kinetic energy operator. If you are measuring total energy, a cap will be Hamiltonian operator, like that. Okay, so if you construct an equation like this, and whatever value you are getting here, that value will be the value of the possible value of the physical quantity of that system. So this a can be many values. Like അപ്പം നിങ്ങൾ മൊമെന്റം ആണ് മെഷർ ചെയ്യുന്നതെന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ ഈ എക്ക് പല വാല്യൂസ് കിട്ടാം, അതായത് പല സൊല്യൂഷൻസ് കിട്ടാം. നമ്മുടെ ഈ ഇക്വേഷനെ സോൾവ് ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ നമുക്ക് എക്ക് പല വാല്യൂസ് പോസിബിൾ ആണെന്ന് മനസ്സിലാകും. അല്ലെങ്കിൽ നമ്മളൊരു സിസ്റ്റത്തിന്റെ എനർജിയാണ് കണ്ടുപിടിക്കുന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ if you want to measure the energy of the system, you will get a number of E values or energy values here in this equation. Okay, so when you are solving this equation, you will find that this equation will be true for many values of this A or eigenvalue, and those many values are allowed values of the measurable physical quantity. നിങ്ങൾ E ആണ് അല്ലെങ്കിൽ എനർജി ആണ് മെഷർ ചെയ്യുന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ ഇവിടെ കിട്ടുന്ന ഓരോ E വാല്യൂവും നമ്മൾക്ക് ആ സിസ്റ്റത്തിന് അലൗഡ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള എനർജി വാല്യൂസ് ആണ്. മനസ്സിലായോ എന്നാണ് എൻ്റെ അർത്ഥം. So the possible values of any physical quantity, for example energy, momentum, angular momentum, whatever, of a system are given by the eigenvalues in the operator equation a cap psi is equal to a psi, where a cap is the operator corresponding to the physical quantity that we are measuring. Okay, psi is the eigenfunction of the system as stated in the postulate 1. Psi യെ പറ്റി പറയുന്നത് postulate 1-ലാണ് അല്ലേ, a ക്യാപ്പിനെ പറ്റി പറയുന്നത് postulate 2-ലാണ്. ഈ ഇതിനെ മൂന്നാമത്തെ eigenvalue a യെ പറ്റി പറയുന്നത് എവിടെയാണ്? postulate 3-ലാണ്. So postulate 3 says that the possible values of any physical quantity of a system are given by the eigenvalues of the operator equation a cap psi is equal to a psi. Okay, so I will give you an example what is meant by this one. For example, let us take a cap or operator as operator a cap as the momentum operator. Okay, for example, px cap, that is the linear momentum operator in the x direction. You already know the expression for the linear momentum operator in the x direction. That is h divided by 2 pi I d by dx. Right? That is a linear momentum operator. Okay, and therefore, if you are constructing an equation of this type, an eigenvalue equation of this type, then this can be written like px cap psi x is equal to px psi x, where px cap is the momentum operator, psi x is a function of x, which is also called the wave function of the system that we are looking into. And px, this px is the value of the physical quantity that we are looking into. What is the operator here? That is momentum operator here. Therefore, what is this value? That will be the momentum value or linear momentum value in the x direction. Okay, so this is what the third postulate says. Okay, and we will get the linear momentum value, the possible values of linear momentum from this one. Okay, so we will see how we can do this one. Just a superficial study of this kind of equations, and let us construct this equation. Px cap psi x is equal to px psi x. So that is h by 2 pi I, h by 2 pi I, d by dx, d by dx of psi x is equal to px psi x, right? Okay, so we have an equation here, and now we can rearrange this equation like d psi by dx, d psi by dx, this is psi x, d psi by dx is equal to 2 pi I by h, 2 pi I divided by h, px psi x. Okay, so let me rearrange this equation once again. 1 divided by psi x, d psi x is equal to 2 pi I divided by h into px into psi x dx. Okay, so I just rearranged this equation. Not psi x there. Psi x is already brought here, so psi x is not there anymore. Sorry. So px and dx. Okay. So now let me take 2 pi I by h px, this quantity. Okay, 2 pi I by h into px. Okay, that is equal to I k. Okay, where k is equal to 2 pi by h into px. So 2 pi by h px is taken as k. So I can write this like a ik, right? So let me rearrange this equation once again like this. 1 divided by sin x, psi x, 1 divided by psi x dx is equal to ik into dx. Okay, where k is 2 pi by h into px. Okay, so what I am going to do is I am going to integrate this function and integrate this equation on both sides. So integral 1 by psi x dx is equal to I k into integral dx, right? So I can write it like 1 by integral 1 by psi x dx, that is equal to log psi x plus integration constant, constant of integration. Let me put it as c, and that is equal to I k. What is integral dx? That is equal to dx plus a constant of integration b. Okay. Okay, so b, or so it is better to give after c, it is always better to give d. So let me give it as d so that you won't be confused. So that is log psi x plus c is equal to I k x plus d. Okay, so let me write it like log psi x is equal to I k x plus c d minus c, right? D minus c. So I can write it like log psi x is equal to ikx plus d minus c can be taken as another constant. Let me put it as uh, b. Okay, let me put it as b, where b is equal to d minus c. So if I am going to take the and I am again writing like e raised to the power of, okay, e raised to the power, e to the power of LHS is equal to e to the power of RHS. So I am going to write it like this: e to the power of LHS is e to the power of log psi x, okay, is equal to e to the power of ikx plus b. Okay, I can write like that. So e to the power of psi x, you know that is equal to psi x is equal to e to the power of ikx into e to the power of b. Okay, so that is equal to that is equal to e to the power of ikx into e raised to b is another constant. Let me put it as a. Okay, so I have psi x is equal to a e raised to ikx. So psi x is equal to a e raised to ikx. So here I have obtained an expression for psi x. What is that expression? Psi x is equal to a e raised to ikx. So this is the solution of this equation, solution of the operator equation that we constructed here. The operator equation that we constructed here was this one: px cap x, psi x is equal to px psi x, or h by 2 pi d psi by dx is equal to px dx. That was a first order differential equation, and we have solved this first order differential equation in order to get an expression for the wave function psi x. Okay, this is what we are doing in every quantum mechanical, when treating every quantum mechanical system. For example, we are going to treat a quantum mechanical system like a particle in a one-dimensional box, particle in a three-dimensional box, or particle in a ring, okay, or particle on the surface of a sphere, or an electron in a hydrogen atom. And in every case, okay, we are going to construct an operator equation like this, and then we will solve that equation in order to get an expression for the wave function. So here I gave you only a very simple example just to show what we are doing in quantum mechanical calculations when we are treating the microscopic systems. Okay, so here we have obtained a solution for the operator equation, and the solution or an expression for the wave function, that is psi x, that is equal to a e raised to ikx. I have not deduced what is the value of a. I am not going further, okay, because that is not very important at this moment. Okay, so this is the solution for of the equation, and this is not the complete solution. Whenever we are talking about the solution of the operator equation, we have to do two things. First, we have to get an expression for the function. Okay, function means wave function, that we have obtained here. Second, we have to get an expression for the eigenvalue. Okay, here the eigenvalue is px, so we have to get an expression for px also. When we get an expression for the px, then we can say that now we have the complete solution. Okay, so what is the expression for px? Now it is very easy to get an expression for px, because we have an equation here: k is equal to 2 pi by h into px. Okay, let me write it here: k is equal to 2 pi by 2 pi by h into px, right? Therefore, from this one, px is equal to kh divided by 2 pi. Okay, where k is a constant, right? So we have already defined k, and we have, when we are solving the equation, we will find out what are the possible values of k. At this moment, we are not going to the details of what are the possible values of k, because we have not defined the system. That is the main reason we have not defined the system. We just said that this is a wave function, how the operator is acting on the wave function. That's what we have done. We have done here. I have not defined a system like a particle in a one-dimensional box. There I will define the system. This particle can move from 0 to x in the x direction, or 0 to L in the x direction, something like that. That is what is meant by defining a system. Here I am not defining the system, so it is not possible for me to get the values of a or k here in these expressions. Okay, so anyway, but we have an expression for px. So when we have an expression for psi x and px, we can say that we have solved the equation. Okay, so I just gave you a method of what we are doing in quantum mechanical calculation. That's all. Okay, why I did all these things? Because in this way we can find out the values of find out the possible values of eigenfunctions. When we are given different possible values of k, we will get a different possible values of px. Okay, so different possible values of k will be obtained by defining the system, okay, and specifying the system. So from the third postulate, from the third postulate, we can see that the possible values of a measurable physical quantity can be obtained as the eigenvalues of the operator equation a cap psi x is equal to asi. Okay, and I have shown how we can get these possible values. Okay, so I hope you understood the second postulate, the third postulate. So the third postulate is very important. You have to remember now, in the first postulate, okay, we talked about the function. In the second postulate, we talked about the operator, and in the third postulate, we are talking about the eigenvalue. So if we have an eigenvalue equation like a cap psi is equal to si, and this is I. Okay, this I is dealt in the first postulate, and this is dealt in the second postulate, and this is dealt in the third postulate. Okay, so we have gone through three postulates of quantum mechanics, and you know that we can express Schrodinger wave equation as the eigenvalue equation like this. I have already given this in my previous video, so you have to look into that. We can express Schrodinger wave equation as an eigenvalue equation like h cap psi is equal to E psi. Okay, where h cap here is a Hamiltonian operator, Hamiltonian operator, and psi is the wave function, and E is the total energy. Okay, from the third postulate we can now say that the possible values of energy of the system will be obtained from the Schrodinger wave equation, because h cap psi is equal to E psi is the Schrodinger wave equation, and possible values of energy of a system can be obtained from the Schrodinger wave equation. So we construct the Schrodinger wave equation for a particular system, and when we solve that Schrodinger wave equation, we will get the expression for psi, and also we will get the expression for E. And in the expression for E, we can get different possible values of E, and these different possible values of E will be the different possible values of the energy possible for that system. Okay, so this third postulate is very important. I hope you understood the third postulate, and if you want to know how to express Schrodinger equation in this way, you have to go to my previous lecture. It is already posted here, and there you can get the there you can see how Schrodinger equation can be expressed in this way. Okay, so with this I am winding up the this discussion here, and I hope you understood what is the third postulate of quantum mechanics. And if you have any doubt, please don't hesitate to ask me. As I always say, okay, when you watch this lecture, you have to keep your notebook with you, and whatever I am writing here, that you have to write it in your notebook. If you are feeling difficulty, pause the video and try to watch it again. Okay, and if you have any another difficulty, then you can contact me. Okay, or you can post a comment here. I will try to answer your questions. Okay, so I hope you are staying safe during this pandemic period, and thank you for watching, and stay tuned.